Hello again, thanks for your company. Welcome to another big week of WA football. It's down to the wire between Stirling and Bayswater, who will clinch the league title for 2013. Coming up this week, we'll check in with Sorrento coach Paul Price. His team is hosting Bayswater this weekend in what could be a title decider. We'll also bring you the highlights from the Football West Futsal Grand Final, and our match of the week takes us to Macedonia Park between Stirling and finals hopefuls Inglewood United. But first, we thought we'd delve into the Amateur League with a special focus on the Premier Division, where league leaders North Perth United have turned their season around after battling relegation last year. It's an impressive story which started off as a dare at the local pub.
From 1972, we formed the club from the North Perth Hotel. We used to go down from a Sunday session, and the Sunday session bloke used to put challenges out with all the different races down there, the Italians, the Poms and everything else, which was very good, really integrated. The Italians said, well, there's something you can't beat us at, and that's football. So we took them on and challenged them, and we had won about 5 games on a trot. From there, somebody said, well, why don't we try to start the club up as a league club, which in 1973 we did.
I can hear a few Irish accents in the mix. Is it sort of catering to the visitors, so to speak?
This year we've got a lot of Irish lads that's come down, because we had a few Irish lads last year. They brought their mates down this year. It's been a change over the years: Scottish, Irish, English, Australian, Italian. It's, as I say, it's been a cosmopolitan side.
Kevin, what's brought you to North Perth United?
Just the fun of playing soccer and playing with a few friends and Irish boys and all other cultures, really. The atmosphere around the club is unbelievable the last couple of weeks, so puts down really to the club. They've put a lot of effort in this year. You see down at training we have 30-40 people at training every Tuesday, Thursday night, so it's easy to do well when you have players like that coming down to training and back for places.
So being a keeper, what's your defence like? Do they make you look good, or do you make them look good?
A bit of both. A bit of both. A few top-class defenders in front of me, but I'd have to say I'd have to help a few of them the odd time.
Last year we struggled and we didn't want to go through that again. We struggled for numbers every week, so we, myself and a couple of the other volunteers got together and looked at ways we could increase the numbers, and having a social side was something that we said would give us that depth. And the social teams, they're flying. They're going to win the league, and there's a real buzz around the club this year, so it's fantastic to see.
Cambio Cumbre have won just about every futsal title in WA. They faced off against Lads FC in the Football West Futsal Grand Final last week. Could they cap it off? Let's take a look at the highlights.
Healthway and Football West have teamed up to find the Smarter Than Smoking Junior Player of the Month. Whether you're the star of your team or you just love to have fun with football, you can be in the running to win an Apple iPad. Each week, I'll be asking a simple question and the answer will be revealed later in the show. Check out footballwest.com.au for details and tune into our new Football 360 Junior Show to see if you've won our fantastic prize. This week's Smarter Than Smoking Junior Player of the Month question is, what is another term for second-hand smoking? To be in the running for an Apple iPad, check out footballwest.com.au and stay tuned to Football 360.
Time now to take a look at the Match of the Week highlights between Stirling Lions and Inglewood United. Round 21 at Macedonia Park, and it was first place Stirling in red hosting sixth place United, who needed a win to earn a finals playoff spot. Inglewood almost caused their own demise from the start after this clearance come back pass created havoc for keeper Luke Martino. But United steadied and almost got on the scoreboard with this outrageous shot by James Samet, who tested Alex Viteschi. The deadlock was broken on the quarter hour with a delightful ball from Gareth McGlynn, which landed in front of Phil Arnold, and he did the rest. Martino coming off his line, Arnold quick to lob the ball over and send it into the back of the net. As the half went on, a similar move found Arnold again, who fed the ball to his teammate, but the shot was too weak to cause any trouble. United were trailing but refused to give up. This stinging free kick was fired into goal, picking up a deflection along the way, narrowly missing the upright. In the final minutes of the first 45, Arnold burst forward. He crossed the ball, which found Sam Fusic, but couldn't beat Martino. In the second half, United pressed on and should have done more from this opportunity. As the Lions looked in cruise control, they were reduced to 10 men after this challenge by Gareth McGlynn on Inglewood's David Perich. But the replay shows hardly any, if no contact at all. But McGlynn's send-off didn't seem to cause any chinks in Stirling's armour. In fact, the Lions roared ahead with this corner, veteran defender Jason Gavin meeting the ball with his head and extended Stirling's lead. It was enough to fire up United. A short corner was sent into the box and up bobbed Craig Simpson almost from nowhere to power this header into the net. Simpson virtually out of the blue, timing his leap to send the ball home. Time though was running out for United. Inglewood tried to peg one back towards the end. Before the Lions almost countered and clinched a third, Martino caught in no man's land. This shot from Alex Caniglia, summing up United's day. In other results, Gavin Knight scored a hat-trick with this penalty to help Sorrento demolish Floreat 5-0 at Lita Stadium. Fellow title chasers Bayswater thumped Armidale. Coburn went down at the hands of Bunbury. Balcatta accounted for the NTC, and ECU secured a gritty win over Perth. To the ladder, and it's still the Lions at the top by a point. Sorrento leapfrog Coburn to take hold of third, and Floreat yet again hang on to fifth by a thread. So on to the last round of regular action for 2013, where the title will be decided. And Stirling and Bunbury face off. Stirling must win to clinch the league title, but a slip-up and Bayswater could secure the title for the second year in a row if they win against Sorrento. Inglewood United host ECU. United must win, and Athena have to lose against Perth so they can scrape into the finals. Coburn travel to Balcatta, and Armidale will look to next year's NPL as they take on NTC. As always, highlights and results on Football 360 next week. Yes, some very interesting matchup this weekend as we head into the final round of State League action, including Sorrento and Bayswater. Speaking of Sorrento, Paul Price, the head coach, joins me now. Paul, welcome to Football 360 again. Bit of a deja vu, really, because your match last year against Balcatta sort of was hanging in the balance. You were vying for the top spot. Now you're playing Bayswater here, who could win if they beat you, depending on what happens between Stirling and Bunbury. So how does it feel to be playing your last match where, again, the title could be decided?
Well, it makes it more exciting, that's for sure. And not only that, we've obviously, if we're in third spot at the moment and Coburn are on the same points, we've got 2 goals better off. So whoever finishes third or fourth gets that extra chance if you finish third. So there's obviously a lot on it for Coburn and for Sorrento and Stirling and Bayswater. So yeah, it makes it very exciting all round for all of the people in WA soccer, really.
As we head into that vital clash this weekend, how the boys pulled up after demolishing Athena 5-0. Gavin Knight, of course, his hat-trick.
The last couple of games we've actually kept the same sort of 11 players together, and really what we wanted to do was play well against Floret, play well against Bayswater going into the finals. So certainly that's what we did on Saturday against Floret, so that was the very pleasing thing about it.
A grand finals berth, going back-to-back again this year, that must be, I guess, on the horizon, on the plans?
Well, obviously that's what we'd like to do, and this season we knew we needed to get into the top 5, and we've got as good a chance as anybody now.
Just quickly before we go, Paul, will Paul Price be at the helm of Sorrento come 2014?
Well, I'll have to speak to the committee about that. At this present time, I would imagine yes, unless anything happens, but I'm hoping to be there next season, and we'll see how this new NPL goes.
And just before we go, last week 5 teams competed in wet and wintry conditions for the Africa Down Under Cup. Some teams travelled as far as Katanning to be involved in the annual friendly tournament. Despite slippery conditions, teams showcased great skill and talent. Some managed to use the conditions to their advantage. The rain cleared up in time for the exciting grand final, which featured South Sudan and newcomers Katanning. Experience won out in the end, and South Sudan took the cup home with pride. And that wraps up another busy Webisode of Football 360 for this week. We'll be back again next week with all the highlights on who's been crowned minor premiers for 2013. We hope you enjoyed the show. Until next week, it's bye for now.